Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I saw Andy No post a video the other day talking about the likes of a trans cult, a trans murderous cult, I should say, that is going around the US. It is quite an extensive story, and I actually waited until Andy wrote up the full article and broke the news on a sort of mainstream news site, I guess you could say, like the New York Post being one of them, mainly because I wanted to get my facts straight. I didn't just want to mess everything up. I wanted everything to be written out properly. And so I could just use that piece of information that Andy has actually spent time writing out and give credit to Andy where credit is definitely due. But this is a crazy and wild story, and we're going to get straight into it. But this is a case of the radical Zizian vegan trans cult, the Zizian. Far out. Vegan trans cult and the shooting death of a Border Patrol agent. This story is nuts, my friends. Guaranteed it's going to be like blow your minds in many, many ways, as it did mine. The murder of a US Border Patrol agent near the Canadian border appears to be linked to a radical leftist trans militant cult accused of killings across the country. For around a week before January 20th attack, federal law enforcement had been surveilling German national Felix Ophelia Buchholz and University of Washington student Teresa Milo Consulio, Young Blutt. Staff at the Lyndonville, Vermont motel alerted authorities about seeing the duo with a firearm and black tactical clothing. This is nuts. When law enforcement visited them, the pair claimed to be looking at a property in the area and promptly checked out of the motel on January the 14th, according to court documents. Then, on Inauguration Day, Border Patrol agent David Malland stopped their car in Coventry, Vermont. Youngblood allegedly shot at Malad, who was killed, and border agents returned fire, killing Buchholz. Youngblood is in custody at the moment. Authorities now say the guns used by Youngblood and Buchholz are owned by a person of interest in other murders and connected to a mysterious cult of transgender geniuses who follow a trans leader named Jack Lasota, also known by the alias Ziz. This is nuts, right? We already know that the transgender whole thing is a cult in itself, but then you've got little factions within the major cult. You got these little ones that stem up, which is just insane. Buchholz was a biological male who identified as trans and used feminine pronouns. He was an award-winning youth math genius from Freiburg, Germany, who later graduated from the University of Waterloo in Ontario, Canada. Around 2021, he was hired as a quantitative trader at Tower Research Capital in New York. It is believed Buchholz was in the US on an H-1B visa. The Department of Justice says he was armed in the car and tried to aim his firearm before being shot dead. How do people like this end up in a crazy sub-faction cult of the trans killing kind? Like, that is crazy to me. But we already know that the lie itself of transgenderism is so infectious. It's so destroying of one's mind and one's heart. Like, is it any wonder that these people are mad and they think if you want to convince someone of total oppression, then convince them that there's something they're actually not, which is their biological sex. Youngblood, who is accused of firing the surprise shots that killed Air Force veteran Malland, was injured by return fire. Youngblood is a biological female who identifies as trans and lists having neo-pronouns as Zezemzuz on social media. Youngblood was a University of Washington student studying computer science. They seem to be really highly intelligent people, right? But also really dumb at the same time. Youngblood graduated from the prestigious and woke North Seattle private institution Lakeside School, which Bill Gates also attended. Funny that, isn't it? Youngblood's family had reported her missing to Seattle police in May 2024. Her family said she was in a controlling relationship and cut off contact. According to the police report, her social media account on Blue Sky shows she followed some Antifa-aligned far-left accounts. Not surprise me. In November 2024, Youngblood filed a marriage application with a 22-year-old fellow Lakeside alumnus named Maximilian Bentley Snyder. Man, these names, Youngblood, Maximilian, and Buckholt, like far out. This is like something out of a fantasy novel. Last week, Snyder, an any pronouns computer science whiz from a wealthy Seattle family, was arrested in Valhalla for the murder of an elderly key witness set to testify in an upcoming attempted murder trial against alleged members of the trans extremist group. Damn. The arrest has revealed previously hidden close associations between Youngblood, Buckholt, and a cult linked to now 4 killings. This is crazy. So this is the Ziz cult, right? This is Jack Ziz Lasota, transgender leader of the group, who has posted about transhumanism. Interesting. And other topics. Some followers say Lasota is dead, but that seems to be a plot to avoid authorities. Lasota used the name Andrea Phelps. And here we go. 2 more other people. Alexander Somni Letham and Amir Emma Boharian, Hamian, and Maximilian Bentley Snyder. Look at Maximilian. Jeez. Insane. Teresa Milo Consigliolo Youngblood and Felix Ophelia Buckholt. And then we have Michelle Jacqueline Zajko. Interesting. The group, the Zizanins, my goodness me. It's hard to get these words off the tongue sometimes, my friends, are highly educated trans vegan rationalists who hold fringe, esoteric, ideological beliefs about transhumanism and animal rights. Like they all just coincide with each other by the looks of things. Their leader, Jack Ziz Lasota, is a biological male who identifies as a woman, because what else would he identify as? Aside from a vegan trans woman that believes in transhumanism and everything else. He also used the name Andrea Phelps and is accused of influencing followers to kill. Lasota's archived prolific blog writings ramble about the use of violence and radical anarchist tactics to achieve various ends. Lasota has a warrant for an arrest in Delaware County after skipping out on court hearings on an open criminal case. His supporters say he died in 2022, but that appears to be based on a fake online obituary to try and escape the law. And these people, they're like really intelligent about certain things, but not so intelligent about other things. A source with knowledge says Lasota was living in Buckholt and other members of the group in an Airbnb rental in Chapel Hill since 2023. It's like they're going all over the place by the looks of things. A Jan 27 motion by federal prosecutors to deny Youngblood bail strongly suggests links with the group. Her Youngblood associations with other individuals suspected of violent acts also warrants caution. Prosecutor Matthew Lasher wrote in a court filing. The individual who purchased the firearms the defendant and Buckholt possessed on January 2025, is a person of interest in a dual homicide investigation in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. That person of interest is bioinformatics researcher Michelle Jacqueline Zadko, according to the ATF. Zadko is the trans non-binary adult child of Rita and Richard Zadko, an elderly couple found killed in mysterious and unsolved circumstances in Delaware County in early 2023. Zadko's past archive blog posts show close associations with Ziz. Interesting. According to public records in reporting by Vermont news site ZT Digger, Zajko had purchased a plot of land in rural Vermont close to where the deadly shootout occurred. Members of the Ziz group are known to live in communes in box trucks. Zajko has not been charged with any crime. A dispute over a former Bay Area Ziz commune is at the center of the murder case against Snyder, the Seattle man who applied for a marriage license with young Blatt. In November 2022, 82-year-old Curtis Lind narrowly survived an assassination attempt by the three members of the Ziz group who were squatting on his property in Solano County, California. Good grief. These people are nuts and they should be arrested, charged, and thrown in prison. They impaled him with a sword and repeatedly stabbed him. Lynn shot two of the assailants, killing Amir Emma Bohanian, I think it is. He lost an eye in the attack and spent a month in the hospital. Far out. 82 years old, man. 82. Guy's strong. Not going to lie. Two other alleged members of the cults, Suryo Deo and Alexander Somni Letham, both transgender, have a trial in April for the attempted murder of Lind, causing the death of their comrade and other felonies. Both of them have tried to escape from custody and face other charges. Goodness me. But the trial may be in jeopardy with the sole witness, Lind, murdered allegedly by Snyder. The plot thickens. They don't want anyone to rat on the other one. So just wipe them all out. Doesn't matter. Like, this cult is nuts. We know that most cults are all nuts, but this one in particular is nuts. But the trial may be, yeah, okay. The Solano District Attorney's Office accuses Snyder of lying in wait for Lind and then slitting his throat. The victim was a witness to a crime who the defendant intentionally killed for the purpose of preventing his testimony in a criminal proceeding, the DA alleges. Snyder's last transaction on Venmo last year was noted for Milo, the trans name of his fiancée. Without naming Lesotho, the court filing strongly suggests he is in the linchpin among all the suspects and persons of interest. And one of the things that I like about Andy No's reporting is not only is it straight to the point, but he also uses the correct pronouns. Like, he doesn't use their preferred pronouns. He uses the correct ones. So it doesn't get you so confused. After the shooting of the border agent, a bomb squad investigated Buckholt and Youngblood's Toyota Prius hatchback. Investigators found 2 pistols, ammunition clips, night vision goggles. What do you need with all that? You may be wondering. 2 full-face respirators, a ballistics helmet, 48 rounds of hollow point ammunition, shooting range targets, interstate lodging information, 2-way radios, and a dozen electronic devices, some of which were wrapped in foil. Yeah, don't worry, cops. We're just going for a little bit of a farm shootout kind of deal. We're not going to touch anybody. We're not going to hurt anybody. Yeah, sure. Right. Okay. At their Airbnb rentals in North Carolina, where they lived before going to Vermont, the property owner says Youngblood parked a new box truck on his property where they spent much of their time during the day, along with other individuals in black clothing. Some trans activists online are pressuring people not to talk to authorities or journalists and are cheering the killings. Well, of course they are. Like, would you expect anything less? No. You'd expect them to do exactly this because they're all crazy, man. They're literally all crazy. After it was announced that the elderly witness was murdered earlier this month, one X account that has expressed support of the Vallejo, California trans defendants wrote, "Ladies and gentlemen, we got him." And that's the end of the reporting from Andy No. Brilliant work, Andy. If you're watching this, mate, hopefully I did your work some credit and justice, and I'm glad that people can actually hear about this story because this is honestly insane, and I'm glad that Trump outlawed and banned transgenderism for the likes of 19 below in the States and got rid of men in women's sports and women's spaces because, my goodness me. But then again, it makes me also wonder that these people are already crazy enough as it is. They were crazy before when they're allowed to do enormously insane stuff. they're probably going to be even more crazy at the moment because they've been stopped to be able to do the things that they want to do, but no longer can do because doing it before was wrong and now it's been outlawed. And that's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen, that what they want to do is no longer allowed or accepted, because what they wanted to do is insane. So, dear oh dear. Anyway, I'm glad that this story got out, and I'm glad that people can actually hear about it and learn just how more crazy these people are. And please do yourself a favor, my friends, share this one out to as many people as you possibly can. Let them all know of this crazy story. And I guess we'll wait and see what happens to the ones that are currently being charged or being prosecuted at the moment. Hopefully they go to jail. We'll see what happens. But anyway, you guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.